Hey guys, hope you're doing well. I just wanted to go over this information with you guys so we're all caught up and that we're not falling behind. So, here is the bell ringer for today. Describe the different classifications of aliens we discussed yesterday in class. So, I'll give you some time. If you want to, you can pause the video and then write down your response. Now, I'm going to go over it. All right, so the classifications we went over yesterday is a resident alien, so someone that lives in the country that has not gained citizenship. Okay, so resident alien, they have the proper authorization to live in the country, but they're not yet a citizen. All right, and then you have a non-resident alien. So this is a person that might be just living in the country for a short period of time. And a good example, like we talked about yesterday, a journalist. You can even say a person that might be studying abroad. All right, so they're not looking to be a citizen; they're just living in the area for a short time period for a certain purpose. Then you have an enemy alien, someone that is living in the country that that country might be at war with. So these people are not citizens, okay? And these people are maybe just at the point they're visiting for a short time, and now they are under watchful eye of the government for a certain time, and they're making sure that they are watched on. And some of these people face a lot of discrimination, and obviously it's very unfortunate. And we talked about the Espionage Act, okay, and how that was something that was created during World War I to keep an eye on these people. All right. Then we also talked a little bit about refugees, so people that are seeking refuge from, let's say, a natural disaster in their own country, or maybe they're facing a lot of discrimination in their own country, so they're fleeing to seek refuge in another country. So these people are leaving their country because of harsh discrimination or harsh reality of their own country to live a better and have better opportunity. Then finally, we talked about illegal aliens. So people that don't have the authorization to live in the country, they did not come in legally. They don't have visa, green card, or any type of documentation that they should be in the country. So those are the classifications of aliens we talked about yesterday. So make sure you guys know those terms for today. So we have naturalization, we have jus soli. Okay, we also have jus sanguinis, collective naturalization, expatriation, and denaturalization. So there you go. I'll give you a minute or so. You can pause the video, write these down, and I'm just going to move on. I'd like you guys to refer to your books too to read over this information, just for a little bit more understanding of the content. You can do that on page 391. Okay, that's where the chapter starts. Well, this section here on basis of citizenship. So 391 to, well, there we go here. 397. So 391 to 397. I like you guys to read over that. It really just explains a little bit more in detail about the basis of citizenship and the naturalization process. All right, so let's get through this here real quick. Went through the types of aliens. Controlling immigration, we went through already yesterday, and how there are policies to limit immigration from certain areas depending on the circumstance. All right, basis of citizenship. So, citizen, member of a political society or nation. So, duties of citizenship: obey laws, vote, be informed, military service, loyalty to country, pay taxes, etc. So, military service, you don't have to join the military, but you have to be available in case there is a wartime draft. So, in case we get involved in a conflict where we have to be like World War II, Vietnam War, World War One, and there is a Selective Service Act, you have to be open for that. Voting, again, you don't have to vote, but it's your legal. It is one of your freedoms. I don't know why you want, but anyway, your right to vote. Loyalty country. So We talked a little bit about the Sedition Act. Okay, obviously that was to the extreme where the government was stepping in line of people and trying to keep people loyal to the country. If not, well, they're fined, thrown in jail, or even exiled. Pay taxes. If not, well, they're going to start taking your assets. The government will take your assets, so your house, your car, your valuable possessions, and if not, well, you're going to be thrown in jail. All right, obviously obey laws. All right, originally states determined who would be a citizen of their state and thereby citizens of the U.S. So not all people were considered citizens. Okay, obviously this was something that citizenship is granted by the states, but after World War or after the Civil War, there's still a lot of issues with these southern states accepting African Americans in their society and their state. And this caused many disruptions leading up to the Civil Rights Movement in the 1960s. So almost 100 years, these people weren't really granted citizenship, even though these people were born in the United States. And it's very unfortunate with the Jim Crow laws and segregation in the South, how this could occur for so many years, literally a century of time, where these people were denied citizenship and the rightful freedoms they deserve. Native Americans, same thing, as the 1700s, 1800s, as the United States was expanding out to the frontier, many of these people weren't granted the same citizenship rights, and many of them were secluded from the United States decision making, policy making, you name it. And again, sad part in American history, but it happened. It happened. All right, so in 1868, Congress ratified the 14th Amendment. Okay, and the 14th Amendment after the Civil War was gaining gaining citizenship for all persons who were either born in the U.S. or naturalized in the United States. So the naturalization process is a legal process by which a person gains citizenship, and this can happen in many ways. So obviously, going through the proper citizenship um, policy. So we'll talk about that here next slide, and just going through the process of becoming a citizen. Or there could be collective naturalization, where these people that maybe through a territory that we gain, like let's say in the 1800s when we gained the Louisiana Purchase, are moving out even more into the West Coast or gaining territory, let's say in Hawaii, Alaska. These territories will become states, and through collective naturalization, all these people that live in that certain territory will become citizens of the US. But 1868, the 14th Amendment was really overturning the Dred Scott decision, where Dred Scott, okay, the African American, he was denied citizenship. And even though he was born in the United States, he was denied citizenship. And this was causing a lot of disruptions, which led to the Civil War. Then, after the Civil War, the 14th Amendment was passed, giving citizenship to all people, okay, and not to seclude African Americans from this process. All right, so 3 ways to gain citizenship: born in the United States, going through the naturalization process. Okay, so the naturalization process is where you enter the United States legally, you take a citizenship test, okay, and after a certain time, which we'll talk about here soon, next slide, you will gain citizenship. Child of American citizens, so it can just be one, your mother or your father, and as long as they were born in the United States, you are also a citizen of the U.S. Even if you're born in another country, you're still considered a U.S. citizen. Just solely is just understanding that we were born in the U.S. and the home ground, so the soil of the U.S. And just sanguinis is that you are a child of a person that was born in the United States. So again, through the citizenship, gaining citizenship, obviously if you're born in the U.S., the naturalization process, or if you're a child of American citizens. So naturalization. So qualifications for naturalization: you need to enter the United States legally, good moral character, swear allegiance to the United States, read, write, and speak in English, which we often talk about. It's like, well, is that really important? Become a U.S. citizen? Well, it's beneficial, right, to understand the language of the United States, although there's multiple languages that are spoken, okay, English being the primary. Knowledge of U.S. history and government. So this is where the citizenship test kind of comes into play. And you guys took that in the beginning of the year, that 100-question test, where it just talks about basic government practices, principles, and history of the United States. 18 years old, so an adult. Live in U.S. for 5 years can begin process after 3 months. 3 years, 18 months if married to an American citizen. 3 month resident of the United States or resident of the state from which the petition is naturalized is filed. So it costs money and quotas for that. So those are the qualifications of naturalization. I just want you to know a few of those for the exam, for the assessment. So people undergo process of naturalization will be investigated for good moral character. So let's just say they might be, let's just say they don't have good intentions for the United States or maybe challenging the US. Well, chances are they won't have the ability to become a citizen of the US because they are maybe challenging the United States. They're maybe looking to form some sort of coup against the US or organization. So this is kind of where a lot of people, oh, the Sedition Act, well, that's not really a thing anymore, but it kind of applies in this certain case. Undergo a hearing. So making sure that these people are looking to be a United States citizen in the right way for opportunities, for better advancement of their life, and they're not looking to obviously cause any disruption or issues in the U.S. Any type of rebellion, revolt, you name it. And then take a citizenship test. They need to be knowledgeable of certain history, government practices, and principles, and how they can be a better citizen and how to become a citizen in the United States. So those who are considered suitable will swear an oath of loyalty to the U.S. as U.S. citizens. So I already talked about this a little bit. Collective naturalization is just really how the government expands naturalization and citizenship to these people that are living in a territory that the United States may have acquired. So they can just do this all at once, right? They don't really have to go through the process of naturalization or the citizenship, just because this is a huge territory, obviously, where many, many people live in, and that we can just acquire all at once, okay? And that we can just understand that these people will become US citizens as we are gaining this territory. So Louisiana Purchase is a great example, and how in 1803, as we're claiming that big chunk of land, okay, past really the Appalachians into the Mississippi, out to the west, Midwest of the United States. All these people that live there are U.S. citizens. All right. 1924 declared Native Americans as citizens because there's so many problems that occurred with Native Americans being secluded from citizenship of the U.S. And eventually in 1924, we decided that all Native Americans are US citizens. And this is kind of us, I wouldn't say righting a wrong because it was a lot of wrong things that occurred. All right. And maybe they deserve a little bit more. The Native Americans deserve a little bit more than just granting citizenship. It's really hard to say. Maybe they gain a little bit more than just becoming a citizen. Maybe it's money, job opportunities, really, maybe a pension. No one really, I mean, it's really hard to say, but with all the harsh atrocity that they face, maybe they should gain a little bit more than just that. All right, so loss of citizenship, Congress can take away citizenship as well. So 3 ways: expatriation. Okay, so this is give up citizenship by moving to another nation and becoming a citizen. All right, punishment of crime, so treason, revolution, etc. So these people, whether it's just leaving to go to another country, okay, I know it's kind of weird just associating the two with each other. If you're just leaving, go to another country, it's not like you are just being an expatriate here, but I guess they accommodate both together. And then another way of expatriation is just with treason. Okay, if you're trying to cause a revolution or revolt, or you're trying to push back against the government, chances are, well, you are committing this type of expatriation. Denaturalization, so fraud during the naturalization process. So this could be age, this could be where you're coming from. All right, this could be maybe children you might have. This could be maybe an occupation that you might have, any type of thing, a different name, a different alias. If that is caught, then, well, you're going to lose citizenship. You won't be gaining citizenship in the country. All right, well, that's all I have for today. Hope you guys have a good one. Sorry I couldn't be there today, like I said. You guys take care. Have a good one. We'll see you tomorrow.